Oftentimes, when we think of grooming, we picture an older adult targeting a child, someone much younger, more vulnerable. But grooming doesn't stop when you turn 18. In fact, many adults are groomed, and it's often harder to recognize, especially when it's disguised as kindness, support, or even love. I'm Callie Sorensen. I have a master's in the psychology of coercive control, and I help people recover from grooming and other coercive or emotionally manipulative dynamics. In this video, I want to help you understand why even smart, capable adults can be groomed and why it's so difficult to see it. So here's the myth. Society teaches us that only children get groomed, that grooming happens in sketchy online chat rooms, that if you're an adult, you should have known better. But that belief is not only just wrong, it's harmful. Because when adults do get groomed, they often feel like they're not even allowed to name it. Maybe you're 45 years old and you join a dating app and someone who seems really kind at first slowly grooms you there. Or maybe you're going through a breakup or just moved to a new city and someone in your community steps in pretending to help. Many of my clients have told me that people blamed them for letting it happen just because they were an adult. But that kind of shame, it's what keeps people silent and it keeps groomers protected. So it's essential to share that grooming doesn't just happen to children, it happens to adults, and not because we're naive or weak, but because we're human. All adults go through moments in life where we're vulnerable, not because something is wrong with us, but because we're in transition, under pressure, or simply craving connection. And that's exactly what groomers look for. They identify your unmet needs, and then position themselves as the person who can fulfill those needs. But what they're really offering isn't safety or support, it's control, disguised as care. And they like to target kind, empathetic, forgiving people, people pleasers, trauma survivors, anyone who is looking for clarity, belonging, or to feel seen or understood. And they especially watch for gaps, the kind that show up in every adult life. They look for emotional gaps, such as grief, heartbreak, divorce, loneliness. They look for situational gaps, financial stress, career burnout, or caregiving pressure. They look for transitional gaps, moments of change like moving to a new city, starting a new job, leaving a relationship, or enrolling in a new course or starting a new hobby. These are the times when we're reorienting ourselves, when we're searching for stability, connection, or belonging or something else. And groomers know exactly how to show up with what looks like that missing piece: attention, protection, flattery, connection, belonging. They don't just manipulate people, they manipulate needs, unmet needs that every single human being has. And here's the hard truth. Most of us were never taught how to identify those needs for ourselves. So when someone seems to offer exactly what we're missing, it feels amazing. It feels good, and we just trust it, even when a small part of us might be saying or feeling something is off. And that's why I created the Feelings and Needs Guide, to help you reconnect with what's going inside of your body and your emotions. Because when you understand what you truly feel and need, you're less likely to hand your power over to somebody else. So why is it so hard to see or identify grooming until it's too late? Grooming in adulthood doesn't look like the obvious danger. As a society, we think we know what a groomer looks like. Some creepy old guy in a basement lurking in the shadows. And we think as humans we're smart enough to spot them a mile away. But the truth is, most of us have no idea, because groomers don't usually look dangerous. They can look like normal, everyday people, and often are. They can be charming, helpful, generous, even admired in their communities. They can be leaders. And that's exactly what makes them so effective. They don't set off alarm bells in you, they disarm them. They slowly break down your boundaries, not with fear, but with trust. And by the time you realize what's happening, it's already gotten so deep. And it often looks like daily check-ins, encouragement when you're struggling, flattery that feels meaningful, gifts, support, or attention that seems thoughtful. It looks like someone who is showing up when you most need them, until that support becomes a hook, until the closeness starts to cost you something. And that's why adult grooming is so disorienting. It's not about force, it's about a slow erosion. Over time, your instincts get clouded, you start doubting your discomfort, you rationalize their behavior, you think everything is your fault, and you take everything within. You stop trusting yourself. And they can do small things that make you question your reaction. Whoa, maybe I'm being too sensitive, or maybe I'm overreacting. Why am I triggered? They were just trying to help me. You're told it's care even when your gut says something is off. So you stay. You give them the benefit of the doubt. And then slowly your self-trust starts to disappear. Many people don't even realize that they were groomed until they've already invested months, sometimes years and years into the dynamic. And by then, you're tangled in what we call the sunk cost fallacy. You can check out my other video on this psychological hook, which can sound like I've already come this far and I've given so much of my time and energy into this relationship. Maybe it's not as bad as I think. But here's the truth. You didn't miss the red flags. You were trained to ignore them slowly over time, because grooming is designed to feel good. It hooks you through what seems like genuine care. And that's what makes it so easy to trust and so hard to recognize until you're already in so deep. And that is what makes it so powerful and profoundly confusing. Unless if you've lived through it, it's so hard to explain to others. But if you have experienced this, you know exactly how disorienting and confusing it feels. Grooming is one form of coercive control. It uses charm, flattery, guilt, or support to slowly gain power over your thoughts, your boundaries, or your sense of self without ever needing to raise their voice. And that's what also makes it so hard to recognize and why so many people stay confused and blame themselves. If this feels familiar, I go deeper into these patterns in my video on coercive control. So please know, grooming is designed to be invisible. You didn't miss the red flags. They were hidden. You didn't fail. You're not broken. You were being conditioned. If no one else has told you this, it's not your fault. You're not weak. You were targeted. And now you're allowed to name it. And here's the most important part. Once you see it, you can start preventing it from happening again. It starts with learning to speak up for your gut feelings, for your needs, for your boundaries, and for your truth, even when it's really uncomfortable. And make sure you keep educating yourself. So please hit the like and subscribe button to follow for more videos around this. Also comment below if you have a question or would like to share your adult grooming experience. You are not alone, and your story might be the one that helps somebody else feel less confused, less ashamed, and more seen. And if you want support in making sense of what happened or setting boundaries and finding your way forward, I offer one-on-one sessions. You can book a free consultation using the link in the description below. Grooming doesn't just happen to kids. It happens to adults. It can happen to any of us. And silence is what keeps it going. So let's break that silence together. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.